All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So I did a podcast earlier, and it was basically about paying attention to your energy level when working out. And I want to do a video separate on this. Basically, pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. Because I don't think a lot of people pay attention to kind of the ups and downs, what they're feeling throughout the day as far as energy goes. You know, a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, I come up with these wacky titles, but I'm kind of always paying attention to what my body's doing. It's kind of a weird thing. That goes for how my body reacts when I'm eating, how my body reacts when I'm going to the gym, how my body reacts regarding different sleeping, going to bed at different times, different naps. I'm always experimenting with things as well. It's just something to keep me busy. I'm not somebody who can just sit around and do whatever. I'm constantly thinking. I exhaust myself. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I think a lot of people don't realize they have a lot more energy than they think they have. But they've kind of programmed themselves to kind of shut down. And I really realized this when I was making films. Even though I lived kind of a crazy life for many, many years in the bar industry with my father in the vending business, which basically meant waking up at like 9 a.m. because a lot of the bars didn't open that early. But it would be between 8 and 9, let's say 8:30, I should say, is when we'd wake up, and we'd leave around 9:15, and then start collecting money, unless we had to pick up or drop off equipment. That varied as well. But then the day really never ended till it could end until 2 in the morning, because we ran service usually till like 11 or 12 o'clock as well. So besides collecting money all day and moving equipment, somebody could call us for a service call, and most likely we'd go out and try to service the call because we didn't want certain pieces of equipment down, because when they were down, we weren't making money. Not only that, it pissed off the the bar owner, manager, because if equipment's down, customers are pissed. Also, customers may leave to go somewhere else. So if a billiard table or your jukebox is down, hypothetically, how does that work throughout the night? Not very well. So, I would throw in working out in here. But my point being is when you kind of have a life like that, say for 30 years, where it's not just somebody who, say, goes to work for 9 hours. Because a lot of people wake up, got to have my coffee, got to get to work. I'm just using the average Joe out there. Let's do lunch, let's finish up, maybe happy hour, whatever. Let's get home, or let's pick up the kids. Let's do dinner, let's do homework, let's sit on the couch, watch TV, call it a day, get on the computer, whatever the case may be. My life was never like that for many, many years until I had kids. And what was interesting, again, with my energy level is I spent a tremendous amount of time with my kids. I was fortunate, again, working with my father, so I could set my own schedule a lot of times. So then it was a little different because I wasn't doing service calls at night, because I said I want to be there for my daughters. I wanted to, I'd pick them up from school. We'd eat. We'd go to the parks a lot. We had a good time. We would always make sure they got their homework done. But I worked out at night, and I also then I was making films, and I would make my films at night. So either I had two options when I would drop them off for school early in the morning, go work out, go to work, and then pick them up. Or when I was in Chicago making movies, they were actually younger. So I'd be with them all day for the most part because I was making films at night. And then my ex-wife would come home and she'd watch the kids, and I was making movies. I would start at, say, 5:36 at night. And I wouldn't end until 2 in the morning. My second film was all night shooting, I think, with the exception of one day I did a weekend. That was just the way I made the film. But again, my energy level, I didn't get caught up with kind of programming myself or bullshitting myself, saying, oh, got to wake up here. Oh, I'm supposed to feel this way now. Oh, it's lunchtime. I'm supposed to. And I realized with a lot of people, you probably have a lot more in the tank. Like I was saying, you have a lot more energy, especially at night, to do the shit you want to do. After all the stuff I was telling you, working with my father for a majority of my life. Then I ended up traveling for, say, the next 10 years. So then I was catching flights all over the place. Again, was not a normal lifestyle. From the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, I'd have different time changes. I was either in and out of an airplane, in and out of a rental car, in and out of a hotel. But the difference with me too is I not only was able to work, I would also write my screenplays, like say if I'm on a plane or in a hotel or just waiting to catch a plane or just at lunch. I was dinner. I'd be writing, working on stuff. I didn't get caught up with all the bullshit. And, I think one thing people got to realize, if you want to start accomplishing certain things, stop ending the day for one so early. Now, I am by no means an early bird. But I am somebody who's kind of like this. I talk about in my workouts. I'm doing this in life. I go till 2 in the morning. But I'm definitely a slow starter. So people may make fun of me and say, hey, Rich, man, you get up at 9 o'clock or whatever, 10 o'clock or whatever. Yeah, I get up, do whatever I got to do, start my shit, upload a couple videos or a podcast now because I'm not traveling. But then it's throughout the day, I'm building up momentum. Even when I'm working out, I'm building up momentum. Like right now, what is it, a Saturday night? It's going on 10 o'clock. I'm in the office. I'm actually in my buddy's office, not my own. I appreciate him helping me. My buddy, Robert Bendinati, this is his real estate office, 365 Realty. I like coming here. He set it up. Beautiful podcast situation for me and him, mainly him, and I took advantage of it. Whatever. Yeah, I keep going. My downtime is hanging out with my kids. My downtime would be going to see my pops. Those are downtimes. But I have all this other time to do whatever or put time towards what I want to do. And a lot of people go to bed at, say, if I'm not watching a sporting event, because that's mainly what I'm doing, maybe watching YouTube, but it's mainly sports. Now it's football. So I'll even tape the football games, watch them throughout the week. But I'm always doing things I want to do or get accomplished. So even if you want to fix cars, say, for instance, you're a dude, and I get your wife may want her to go to bed or your girlfriend or whoever want to go to bed at night with you. You want to do that, that's fine. But if you want to fix cars and you don't have enough time throughout the day, if you do something late at night that you love to do, I can assure you your energy level is going to start building up. It may not be at first. So after dinner, you may be like, oh, after dinner, we got to sit around. We're going to watch TV for a couple hours and then go to bed. That's cool. Maybe watch a television show, but then say, I'm going to go in the garage for an hour or two. Okay. Or again, if you're not working, a lot of people claim they can't work out because they can't go early in the morning. It's too early. They have to get to work. Can't fit it in at lunch. Can't fit it in after dinner because of the kids and the wife and the bullshit. For years, I worked out late at night. You may be like, well, if I get up at 8 in the morning or 7, by the time I get to the gym, it's 12 hours later. Yeah, so what? You may not have all the energy in the world, but once you get used to it and you enjoy it and you see results, but a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to end their day early. And most of the time, you're not doing a lot of things, I'm telling you, after like 6 o'clock. Now, if you have a different type of job, if you're in hospitality or you do construction and you're way early, or again, if you're in a bar, restaurant environment again, whatever it is, everyone has their own schedules. I'm not saying that. But if you do work nights, you may have a lot more time in the morning too as well. But you may be just sleeping in a lot later. My point being is, let's put it this way. If, a lot of people, say you sleep 8 hours, you got 16 hours. And a lot of people, you do a lot of shit for, say, 9 or 10 of them. What are you doing for the rest of them? I talk about that with fitness. If you have 24 hours in a day, you work out an hour, that's 4% of your day. That's it. Hour and a half, 6%. 6% of your day. You can't fit that in. If you can't fit in shit you want to do, too, what are you doing? Like, I hear so many dudes, I wish I had more time to do what I want to do. Well, even when you do have time, you're not doing it. Even on weekends, I see tons of dudes always telling me all the shit they want to do during the week that they can't fit in. Then weekends, they can't fit it in either, especially like, say, back to the gym. I'm like, why can't you work out on weekends? Well, that's my downtime. That's when I like to, go do this or that. I get it. You still have a lot of time. Even if you have kids, you got sports, you've got, even if you work a second job, maybe even, there's time. You're just usually wasting your time. But back to the energy level, if you start really paying attention to your energy level, and this is what worked for me, and I couldn't believe it because I could believe it. I don't know what I'm talking about. But because I was very active and I like staying up late at night, I was just kind of programmed that way as a small child. My parents owned a bar nightclub. I couldn't conform into the morning lifestyle. But I realized when I first started writing screenplays, that, my ex-wife was going to bed early. Let's say she wanted to go to bed early and she was an early bird. I was not. But when she started to go to bed and the kids went to bed, all of a sudden at 8, 9 o'clock, I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do? If I didn't work out, what am I going to do? I started writing. I realized I was my most creative and my energy level was actually the highest later at night. And that may be for a lot of people as well. I hear this with a lot of writers, authors, screenwriters and stuff. Also, what I realized, it was quiet and it was silent. So I could just think clearly. I wasn't somebody who was just going to sit in front of a television for, say, 5 hours a night, 4 hours a night. If you look at that, I don't care if at night, even after dinner, you sit around there 2-3 hours, then take the weekends, college football, pro football. Before you know it, you sit in front of a television 30 hours a week. Or even me, a lot of times I'm on YouTube. I'm not going to lie. But I'm trying to get information and learn about myself. But I definitely think people need to really discover they probably have a lot more energy. And they've also they're out of shape from that energy. It would be like never kind of working out. And then the more you start to work out, you're like, wow, I do, you lose weight, you gain muscle, whatever. You start to build energy. You lost weight. You feel different. The same way with building energy. A lot of times it takes time to just build it up. It's not just going to, you've been conformed to sit. So in your mind, you're like, well, I don't have the energy to do this. I don't have the energy. You really do. You just haven't kind of programmed yourself and you're not in shape. But once you start doing something continuously, it's going to just be a game changer for you. I really believe it. And I've discussed this before, waking up and saying I'm healthy. But you may flip that and say, waking up and saying, I have energy. I have energy to do this. A lot of people, when you're forced to kind of do something, you may work in a job and all of a sudden for the weekend, you got to go to a convention. Right? During the week, you're kind of whatever. And then you get to a convention and a lot of conventions, you got to get up at 6 a.m. to do this, to meet everybody at 7. And then there's meetings and you got to go to this, this seminar, or you got to go this. Then after that's lunch. Then after that's dinner. Then after that, maybe even more meetings. Your days are, you know what I mean? They're 14, 15 hours sometimes. They could go, who knows, till 1 in the morning, especially if you go out for drinks. How can you pull that off? Now, I'm not saying you could pull that off all the time, right? But say back it down. Wait, I get you don't have to be that extreme, but when you can do a lot more than you think you can do. There's no question about that, I believe. All right, and I've had days and I've had jobs. I don't know if you've ever lost money or went broke. I was in my late 30s. I had some hard times. I had to go back to valet parking. I was the oldest dude there, and I'm working valet parking, helping run it, and you're running a ton. We had like 550 cars. I'm with all these young guys. My day started around 4 and it wasn't ending till 4 in the morning. I was doing that continuously. I got in the best shape of my life. Maybe not the best, pretty close. I lost 20 pounds in the heat in Florida. And one of the things I love being around the young guys. It wasn't bad money. Again, I can be with my kids during the day and do that at night. But I could do it. When I first got there, I was rocked. But before you know it, I conformed into it. So basically I had my days and I can do things at night. Now those were weekends, but I still was able to do a lot. And I was kind of shocked at my age I could do that. And it's just very interesting. You can do it. I'm telling you. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You get a chance, subscribe. And I'm telling you, man, you got a lot of energy in you. I don't care what age you are, too. I had a grandmother. She just recently passed. She had more energy than I did. I don't know how she did. And my great grandmother, 93 years old. I couldn't believe how much energy she had. My grandfather in his 80s. It's kind of a mindset. I think a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. Genetics and maybe what you've done in your past, what you did to your body, and how you lived, smoked, drank, all that shit kind of gets in there. But if you believe and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish and what you just want to go enjoy, you're going to have energy to do it. Go where your energy leads you.